Here we go, and good morning, everybody. Welcome to Wake Up Baltimore.
Yes,
It's Dr.
Wake up,
Z
people.
and LT. Dr. Z,
Yes,
what's going
right.
on? Good. On.
Bring him on. Where
Yes,
is he?
sir. There he is.
There you go.
is. Good morning, Mr. Randolph. Good morning.
Good morning from Tampa, Florida.
Woo! Don't rub it in.
I told you that's what they do in Florida, Dr. Z.
Oh, God,
Did you now look? Every week now, Michael, you have had your segment,
Right.
your weather segment, giving us the temperature, and we joke with you like
Ain't it
7 weeks ago. We said Florida people always say I'm calling from blah blah blah, where it's 85 degrees, where it's 80 degrees or whatever. New Yorkers always say, well, I'm from New York.
Yeah.
I'm from
I'm
New
a New
York.
Yorker.
85 degrees at 7:50 in the morning.
Golly Moses, I'm definitely jealous.
Wow.
I'm up here fighting. I'm up here fighting the blizzard.
I've been waiting to get an opportunity to meet you. You're doing extraordinary things. We call you ordinary people that's doing extremely powerful things.
Thank you, my brother.
Dr. Z, you and I do share a particular group of people, unfortunately. And that's cancer. I'm a cancer survivor. I had lung cancer. Part of my lung was removed, resulting in me being able to breathe 50%.
Oh, my goodness.
No time that's going to go down. And but my cancer is self-imposed because I smoked.
Right.
It had me to get cancer. And like you, 85% of my work that I do is for free. Because I do believe in giving back. So
That's
we
right.
say those two things. From day one, I said, that Dr. Z, he and I share a lot of things. And that's really about giving back, considering other people before us. And that's the true example of a hero. That individual that forgoes himself or herself and gives back to the community.
Beautiful.
So
that's all of us on this daggone window. All of us.
So you definitely inspire us. And because I have a national audience, Dr. Z, could you tell folks about you? Because we want to increase those donations that's coming in because you're doing such a fantastic job.
Thank you, my brother. Just to give a quick summary, I'm just an old common dude, a doc who just saw a need for the world. And so when I went out in practice, all I did was just give free and barrelless health care. So people can always have it. Think what we're talking about, folks. It's just what's needed. It's not about any creativity. You as a fellow man, as a human being, cannot sit there and deny people the right. Let me say that, and we got to keep saying it, Mike, the right, not a privilege of health care. And that's what we push. I grew up here in Baltimore. My daddy was a doctor. I followed him. We did things the same, and we ended up with the same disease. Cancer. He somehow succumbed at 45 to it, and he only practiced 10 years, but they still remember that love, that compassion. We're talking about, what does that video mean? I think it meant a lot. It means the following of a parent, the following of anybody. Just like we said, the Junior Oreos. It's about a commonality of community. And that's what we bring to this. And so when I got ill, and I put it out here for the world, I said, y'all can ride this battle with me, brother. Y'all ride this battle with me. And what has this world done? It actually said as a statement for us rather than for me. Because my buddy, me and Michael Haney, we were just out here to raise a little something to start, and we took a little something to get us over the hump. Two men talking in a hospital room at 8 o'clock in the morning because he came over early, and look where we are, brother. We 260,000 in, and that's not just for what I am. It is for what we are. It's to fight the battle for we, Mike. And I think that's what you're trying to show. It's community. It's to fight the battle for we. Oh, you got the message. You got the message that this man put himself out there. And because you'll never know people get it. But you guess what? America got it. and it's still getting it. That's why me and Leo keep talking about. They still got it a month later. They still get something new, and it's that day. So I'm sitting out here fighting 2 cancers, renal cancer. I'm fighting cancer. But the renal's pretty much indolent, so we don't worry about it. But we battling it firsthand, the rectal. So we got a cancer battle, and you know what we're talking about. You're going through some things. Is it my life? Is you this or that? We all make mistakes along the moving and continuum of ourselves. But how do we get up out that pothole is the key. And the people that helped me. Yesterday, at the Empowerment Temple, they helped me. The day before, Roberta's house, they helped me. It is just an incredible voyage, and it's about a statement about us. Yes, we did this. Look what you are doing because you got it. And you're trying to keep funding me. And that funding, and that's why I wear my short, $1 from 1 million. I wear it as much as I can on this show because this has now gone much further than just Dr. Z and his cancer battle. This is a battle of society about good versus evil. And we are going to show them that we can win with the love that we give each other. And this is it. I'm just dumping it back into the people, taking care of what we need to, and you got to trust in the hands of people. Ain't a better hand to trust to me because I ain't going to walk away with your dollars. I ain't going to walk away with your love. Only thing I'm taking is what you give me. When I say it, I mean we give it to each other. So when you ask me to tell you that story, that's the story. That's what we're fighting and battling every day. And I need you this week, folks. Starting chemo on Thursdays, I said earlier, we need each other. I need everybody in the viewing audience. I need everybody in everywhere on this planet. And we getting people international. I mean, I got letters from across the big pond, they call it. People are just, man, we are galvanizing this world, and we got to keep it going. And I'm not going to stop until we spread that cancerous love. Let me say what I'm saying to you. The cancerous love to every part of it. That's why I told people I'm thankful I got cancer, people. Why? Because I became the voice for the voiceless, and I became the power for the powerless. And that's what we talk about. And you ain't got to be in my position. You don't got to be. You could just be a guy standing in the corner that wants to do right and take the lady across the street and hold her hand. Well, dang it, that's what we doing. We hold a lot of hands. We hold a lot of hearts. Let's get out here and fight this America. So, Mike, that's where I am, brother.
There you go. Now, Mike, tell us what you do, because you do something special that helps others. And I want to give some shout outs to folks that are watching. I want to give a shout out to Jarvis Thomas. Yes. That's my brother. That's my big brother. That's your big brother. That's my big brother.
We go with it.
That's my big brother watching. Thank you for watching, my brother. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Mike, go ahead and tell us.
Yes, Mike.
Tell us what you do. Tell us what you do. Shed some light on what you do. This is your time. Tell us what you do to help.
So before we get started, let me say to my followers in Florida and California, where most money comes from, you already know what to do in terms of donations.
There you go.
Hit that donation button and give some money. Let's raise those numbers up. So my name is Michael Randolph, and I'm coming from Baltimore City, Sandtown, Winchester community, one of the most violent communities in the nation.
And
I went from a menace to society when I was growing up to a healer of the community. Dr. Z and I both share also something. We both are healers, be it physical or community. So we share so much together. So when I grew up in Baltimore, I got to about the age of 20. And the question became to me is, why am I part of this insanity? I grew up on Pennsylvania Avenue. They call it Gangster City. And unfortunately, I aspired to be a gangster until God smacked me and said, boy, that's not the way you're supposed to go. And from there, I began to think about what can I do to solve the problems in my community. That's why I started off as a community organizer and eventually went to a strategic planner transforming community throughout the nation. Most of my training came from Baltimore, during the empowerment zone in Baltimore and public-private relationship. I got my training from folks from Ivy League colleges, like, excuse me, that's that crazy Alexa telling people I need to change my dentures. Can you believe it? So live, okay? I wish I had done. But anyway, to get back to the matter at hand, So I had an opportunity to get all that training from Ivy League institution, Harvard, Yale, Princeton. So I could have taken that knowledge and simply go someplace else. I took that knowledge and decided to be a serious player in transforming the community. I went from working with neighborhood nonprofits, that is Community Development Corporation, for over 35 years to eventually I started the Center for Nonprofit and Community Development. And the reason why I started the Center for Nonprofit and Community Development, because I understood, especially when it comes to Black nonprofits, we were at a disadvantage. Let me just quickly give you some numbers related to the crisis when it relates to nonprofit. And this is before the current administration.
Right.
12% of Black nonprofits operate with one paid staff. 12%. While 58% in the white community. About 68% of such nonprofits are operating on a budget less than $500,000, and nearly 1/3 operate with just $30,000. Largely made up of volunteers, 4.3 of these organizations operate with no paid staff, be it part-time or full-time. And these numbers are really concerning. And that's what started me to create the Center for Nonprofit. And here's the crazy thing about it. When it comes to giving, Black people give 25% more than white groups. Does it make sense? We get the least, yet we give the most. So that got me an opportunity to start the Center for Nonprofit and Community Development. That's why I focus on nonprofit. What we did, and we provided this training to over 3,500 individuals, nonprofits, faith-based groups, etc., over the period of time. My approach to being able to reach so many people was through social media and using it to give me that audience necessary to say my piece. And basically, that's what happened. So that's what I do for nonprofits. I also do what's known as community development, in which I work with neighborhoods to transform those poor communities. And all this knowledge came from the knowledge I learned in Baltimore. God told me I had a mission and a purpose, and it wasn't about me, but it was about others and what have you. I get my greatest joy by helping others. West Tampa CDC is where I've done a lot of work in Tampa. I took what I learned from Baltimore and applied it in the West Tampa community. I tell you, when I got to the West Tampa community, it was a lot of good leaders, and they wanted to bring me in to put together a strategic plan for the neighborhood. But it had to be from bottom up. So many times what happens is that people come in to change the community, and what normally happens, the community remains the same. My job was to show community empowerment from the bottom up by giving residents the opportunity to do what they do. And that was easy because you had the leaders that was there ready to fight. So I'm proud about the work in West Tampa, but simply because we became an organization with no money and little money to an organization that was respected throughout the city and the state of Florida. And I give it to the people that's in West Tampa for that particular thing. And I based on the knowledge that I got over the years in Baltimore. Every time I talk around the nation, I talk about Baltimore and how it all got started. We know that at one point, Baltimore was a center of attention. When the Smoke administration, the Rouse administration came to say, how can we do a comprehensive, holistic approach to transforming community? That's where it all started from. Now, the unfortunate thing about Baltimore, where they had the tools to do it, what they didn't do was empower the community. As a result of that, when they got finished, they left and the community had nothing. What I did in Tampa was empower the community first and then bring in the different players, banks, institutions of higher learning, government, and things of that nature. So it becomes a truly community-driven approach. And I do I take pride in that because what some of the things residents were saying that now finally we control the process. And that was again because of that good leadership that was there. And what's important to any foundation is that you have to have good leadership. You have to have a good strategic plan. That's what I came in. And then you have to have partners. That combined together brings about this holistic approach that we call comprehensive planning. And again, for the folks in West Tampa, I take my hat off for that particular respect. Since then, that strategy now is being used throughout the United States in the poorest neighborhoods in the nation in order to change the narrative. I became so good at what I did in West Tampa that back in about 2001, the Enterprise Foundation, I think our community partners now, brought me back to put together a strategy for Sandtown. I mean, I was proud. I said, I could come back to my neighborhood because that was the game plan to come back and solve the issue. Unfortunately, when I started to talk about the community control, of course, that was not funded. You know, immediately, because how dare you talk? No, we're supposed to be in control. They are supposed to need us. I changed the whole narrative, say, no, once you educate the community, then they can change the narrative. One of the things that I've done in West Tampa was to create, with the community and with partners, through public and private relationship, is the Center for Nonprofit, no, not that. I'm getting confused now. Give me a second. I'm not normally up this early, and I only have.
but even with all that, here's the big piece. Listen at all that you are doing to help communities that help people. Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, boom, I'm doing this. I did this. And you said it 3 or 4 times. It's helping others. It's not about me.
Right.
That's what this show's about.
That's right, brother.
That's what this show is about.
Right, Mike.
Yeah, I'm honored to be on the show. One of the projects that I started in West Tampa, and I hope it goes national, is what's known as the Technology, Wealth Building, and Job Creation Center. Did you know, and I'm quoting from McKinney Institute, while technology has the potential to widen the racial gap, it also has a possibility to shepherd this new technology to an inclusive way that not only yield equity benefits for Blacks and other marginalized communities, but also accelerate the closure of the racial gap. Like no time before, technology will change the narrative when it comes to transforming community. The Wealth Building Center focuses on how do we monetize the talent of the average individual to make money. That's why we come up with a home-based business. Don't need a lot of money. All you need is an idea in order to do it. And that creates job creation. That's how you change the narrative in technology. And I'm telling you, I go crazy when I think about technology. It's the solution to all of our problems. And unfortunately, and that's why it's my goal to change the narrative, most African Americans, especially poor African communities, don't have the smartest gap to technology. They have a little bit of knowledge of technology related to the small things when it comes to entertainment, but not the potential when it comes to health, when it comes to economic development, and all of that. And that's what I teach. One of the major focus of late is technology and changing the narrative.
So, Mike, let me ask you this. So there's just so much that you do to help. And Dr. Z, remember last week we said that one of the questions we would ask strangers now is, what do you do?
Right.
What do you do? Mike, your what do you do is...
It's incredible.
It just kept coming. It's endless. It's endless. And I also think I heard you say that 85% or so of the work that you do is for no cost. Right?
It's for free.
It's free.
It's free. Because
free.
Like Dr. Z, it's not about the money.
There you go.
About the impact.
Hit that again. Beat that again.
Say it one more time, Mike.
Money, it's about the impact.
Yes.
You know what? And Dr. Z will concur with me. You can't take that money with you.
Oh, baby, no way.
You can't take that money with you, but the work you did and what you leave behind and the life you change and the blueprint that you put together is what it's all about.
It is amazing. It is amazing. Yeah, look, he's talking about Sandtown, Winchester. What am I doing? I'm sitting here today at Lafayette and Fulton. That's Sandtown, Winchester, baby. Look how we mirror each other. Ain't that something? Sandtown, Winchester, baby. You know that? He said Enterprise Foundation. Folk, let me tell you about it. That's Jim Rouse.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, Jim Rouse was a love, baby.
Mm-hmm.
He started Columbia, people who you don't understand. That's who started Columbia. That's who tried to put a utopian spin to the life. That's who helped fix up some West Baltimore folk. Mike tell you the truth, baby. Enterprise.
Yeah.
All right? Man put his money where his mouth is.
Yeah.
He helped black folk. He didn't care what color you were.
Yeah.
And could he create it perfectly? No, he didn't. But guess what? He darn sure made the step.
Yeah.
And here's a man that we didn't know. Hey, Leon, we knew nothing about all this gonna come out of Mouth's mouth today. Get with Mike done set this place on fire, baby.
Yeah.
I'm just so impressed. I'm a part of the revitalization. This block, and Mike may even know it, 900 block of Fulton.
Yeah, okay.
Right. I'm on the co-ops. I mean, there's a co-op side and there's a condo side.
You know it's crazy.
And we didn't get to move it the way we want to, but one block in Fulton, when you ride down it, it looks brand new because we did it over. And if we can do it here, we can do it the whole block.
I hear you. And I take my hat off to you. But let me give you a little bit of history. Those condos and those co-ops.
That's right. There you
I
go.
was with the Sandtown Winchester Improvement Association.
Right.
That did those units. Okay. So I have a lot of history of meeting a lot of extraordinary people that poured into me. And as a result of that was the co-ops and the condo. They told us it couldn't be done because it was a black poor community.
That's right.
We changed the narrative. When I tell you Baltimore changed the narrative, I mean that's about everything. Look at right now with one of the highest rates of crime in the nation. Baltimore is also one of the cities that has the least number of homicide as a result of what Mayor Scott is doing and those other things, along with the governor. Right. We've shown that even in the worst of the worst, we can change. From the fire, from the dark comes the light. And that goes to people like Dr. Z that gives up of himself simply because he had no choice. It's not like he had to. He had a force that was driving him.
Yes.
And caused him to do what he did. Anything else he couldn't do. It was because of that. And God loved you, Dr. Z. Because you know what? You make God smile because God said, this is the best of us. This is the best of us. A man who used his sickness to heal other people. Now tell me what's wrong with that. Take that money away.
Yeah, we said we was gonna try to. You're doing it, Mike. We said we gonna try to find out what that video meant. It's up in that corner.
Yep.
We need this people. See, Mike is that's a part of that. Is a part of that force.
Yeah.
That's why it's hitting everybody. Because in the depth of each one of us is that angel that wants to come out and heal us. And like I said, if I got to be the force, if I got to be the face, then put me out there. It ain't about the money.
Yeah.
It's about the care. It's about what we brought on this program today. Hey, we did not sit there and know what we're going to catch. But we catch the pearl, we catch the gem, we catch the life. And that's each one of you. Folk on Sandtown, Winchester ain't bad people. We good folk, baby. We ain't the why. We much higher than that. We are Baltimore. Now, a city that can give, a city that can touch.
Yeah.
And Mike showed you. Look at that. What did we pull? What we pull up, Leon? We pull out the pearl and the diamond, baby.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
That's what we do here.
That's right, baby. And that proof why I stay here. I sit here one time. Just because you a doctor, you don't have to stop and bleach your community. You ain't nothing special. You just got that position in life, so spread it to those, so those who are less fortunate can see what you do and lift you up. Now you see why I stay right here. Been here 30, 40 years. Sandtown Winchester, Dr. Z, the doctor. Everybody say, oh, rich, go to suburban, move. No, Negro, I stay with my people.
Again, from those folks from around the country, especially California and Florida, because you got the most money, hit that button and give it a donation. Hit that button and give a donation.
Right, baby.
Because this man speaks from the heart. He speaks from the heart. And you can't change society without giving. If you're not doing, especially those people that just talk the talk, it's okay, just donate. Then you can still talk the talk and do nothing to change the narrative.
That's right.
With the technology center, what we're doing is extraordinary. In the course of the neighborhood, we're teaching young kids how to do mobile applications.
Beautiful.
How to do game applications. Can you imagine what these young people are going to make? We're teaching them technology to the point where so they can make big money. There is no limitation when it comes to technology. We're teaching these young people all kinds of things. How to do web pages, how to do code, you name it. These young people have a future now because of technology and, of course, because of God. Because without God, none of this could be possible. And I give all praise to God. So
Mr. Randolph, how do people get in touch with you if they want to talk to you about what they want to do in their communities and they need your expertise to help them get there? How do they get in touch with you?
Well, I can be reached at Center for Nonprofit and Community at gmail.com. That's Center. Okay, good. You make it easy for me, right? Yeah, you definitely can. Especially if you're coming from a poor neighborhood, a community of color. I'm not afraid to say it.
Yeah.
Black in particular. And you feel as though nobody's looking out for you. Well, let us come in and change the narrative and put you in control. If it could be done in West Tampa with all those extraordinary leaders there, like Joe Robinson, Dr. Fish, and those other people that fought for that community, it can be done anywhere, especially in Baltimore City. My one dream is to come back to Baltimore and to put together a strategy that transforms that community. Right now, I'm working with individual groups in Baltimore to eventually the big day when we begin to say, here is the transformation process. And the one thing so important in Sandtown, we say, while you do have other people coming in to help, if you don't control that boat, when they leave, you won't have anything. A lot of people think that the only way they can get money is when an organization come in and give them money. But that's not true. If you know how to tell your story and you come together as a neighborhood, will come to you. And guess what? Like the dollar bill normally comes out of the community within an hour. If you use the comprehensive approach, that dollar circulates. You hire people in the community. You create businesses and all of this, but it's all about the community and community empowerment.
My gosh.
Like Dr. Z, who's out there doing the deed. And Dr. Z, let me ask you a question. I've been wanting to ask this. Where did you get the name Dr. Z from?
Well, my daddy was a doctor, and so he was a pediatrician like me. So I told everybody I've been called Dr. Z since I was 4, 5 years old. So I didn't have any choice. So I worked into the name. And hey, I'm glad you said it because it's a good way of looking at it. Somebody threw it out there for me, showed me the example, and I went for it and got the branch wing off the merry-go-round. And that's what we're talking. No different than you talk about a Raw Rouse doing what he did. No different what you did, grab behind him and shit out and put out the power. It ain't about black and white. It's about the betterment of people. And they don't got a color to it, people. Folks, you got to know your history. Mike gave you some history today that takes you to it. So that's where I got that old Dr. Z from. I've been Dr. Z since the beginning of time. So
this show is on fire.
Yes, baby. Boy, I can't believe it, baby. I love this morning.
Hey,
got me crying up here, Mike. I love it, brother.
this is great, man. I'm so glad. Remember last week, Dr. Z, we said if you want to be on the show, send us an email, right? And so 86 degrees Tampa Mike sent an email that said, I want to be on. And there we are, right here. He's on the show. On the show.
And he just started because this thing is deep, man. But he didn't open it up. Mike, how long you been down in Tampa?
I've been in Tampa since 2000. Yeah, right.
Really?
I've been here 20 plus years.
Oh my God!
And I've learned so much. I've been trained by the public and the private sector.
Right.
I've been trained by lenders, investors, government agencies. I got so much training, and without this, I couldn't do it. That's why I understand if you want to change the neighborhood, get the training necessary to have the school box.
That's right.
And show them how you get the bag, how you get the money, and control the process. Because once you train community people in a certain way, they know how to go and get the money. So often in poor communities, we depend on others to come in, to be that shining knight on a horse. And unfortunately, later on, we see that guy was riding backwards on that horse because the devil was not in the game. And that's what we have to learn. We have to do for ourselves.
Yes.
And everybody has to be held accountable.
No question.
Like any time before, this is the time that we have to dismiss that myth that blacks are like crabs. We have to change that narrative and come together and work as one. We have no choice. We all we got and we all we need. And I got that from Baltimore. Those groups is out there fighting crime in Baltimore. So Baltimore will always be my heart.
I hear you, brother.
Where I go, and every place I go, I mean throughout the nation, when I make presentations, I talk about a place called Baltimore, a place called home.
Wow. We done destroyed the wire all the way through. This has got to be shown. You wanna throw a drum out there? Yeah. Put this on and replay this show tonight, and it shows you what we can breed and what we can build. This has been phenomenal, Mike. You've taken us to another level, brother.
Thank you, my brother.
Who even knew? It shows you what we got. Yeah. Look at that, Leon. It shows you what we got, brother. I am truly amazed. It's been the highlight of the morning. This has been a great opportunity, a great message, and it's gonna go, Mike. You got more to tell, baby. We're gonna be pulling you up.
I appreciate you, Dr. Z, but it's not about me. It's about the money, folks.
That's right.
New York, California, and Florida, among the states that give the most money, you know what to do. Hit that donation button. Hit that donation button. Make yourself feel good.
And that's on all of us.
Hit that donation button so that Dr. Z can continue the work that he does. Hit that button and donate. And I know people from around the nation is going to be watching this right here. And for all of my followers, please hit that button. Let's change the narrative when it comes to Dr. Z and his donation drive. Be sure to tell them how they can get that money, how they can link up and get that money. And let's just change the narrative one person at a time.
Put the trust out there, brother. $1 from 1 million. It don't take a lot. And you said it's not the money, but it's also the money in the right hand. We ain't putting the money in the wrong hand. Trust us as people. Trust Leon with his racquetball. Trust Mike and his support systems. Everything. He's got the history. We all here together. We ain't here to take your dollar. You don't need to worry about whether the structure's in place. You don't need to worry about nothing, because when you trust, we come with the answer. And when you put that dollar in the right hand, he is not going to do you wrong. And you got community. You got us right here. $1. Don't take a dollar, but the power of that million changes lives. We had 1 million here tomorrow, and instantaneous we could do it. Then we fix this neighborhood. Then we fix this heart hood. Then we fix this city hood. We can change it. The three of us right here have proven it to you. This interview has been phenomenal, showing you get out here and push that button like Mike told you.
And I got to say, Dr. Z, and people need to understand this, even at your worst, when you feel your worst because of all the treatment that you're going through, you still give your best.
Thank you, brother.
And people need to understand that. Even at your worst, you do your best for other people. And we thank you. The world thank you for what you did and what you're going to continue to do. On the other side of Kansas, you're going to come back and kick even more butt. And inspire other people that have lost their way to say, straight.
Yes.
We do this. And God has a purpose for everything. Nothing happened by chance. God understood that soldier called Dr. Z is the one that can bear this burden and change the world.
Yes.
And we take our hat off to you because
thank you, my brother. Thank you. Leon, I told you I was looking for something. We just found it.
Got it. This was it.
Found it, Leon. We found it, baby.
This was it.
He told me why they keep looking at that video. Because it gives everybody some hope.
Yes, it does. It does.
Gives you hope. Gives you hope.
It does.
When people are still seeing it a month later, 3 weeks later, and they're still seeing it, and it's resonating with them.
Yes.
Right? And it's going across the nation. And with someone with Mike, with his reach, and Mike, your knowledge of this, y'all just come on and think of where this could grow to.
Yes.
Where this could go, how we can solve so many problems, eliminate them, fix the issues that our communities are facing. All because people are stepping up, doing something, giving, being involved in the community. There's something we can all do. Come on, y'all. Come on, we can do that.
This has been I'm just moved, brother.
And it don't cost you nothing to change the world.
Don't cost you nothing, brother.
It don't cost you anything but the time and your commitment. And we have to stop depending on others to do for us.
Yes.
We have the capacity to do for ourselves. God gave all of us that ability. Be it the guy that's an addict on the corner or the head of a corporation, we all play a role in changing this world. Nobody more than anybody else because of that economic status, but because of the passion and the love in our heart. That's what changed the narrative.
Change the narrative. Mr. Randolph, now you know you've watched the show. We always have a segment with Michelle Madison. So you want to stick around for Michelle Madison's medical moment. Let's go to that now.
You're watching Wake Up Baltimore. It's now time for Michelle Madison's Medical Minutes with Dr. Z.
All right, here we go. The first question. First question. What are your thoughts on vaping? I saw someone doing it in a very public place. Is it really safe? All right. I'm going to get Mike, Mr. Randolph, you and I get short answers. We get like 1 or 2 words for our answers, and Dr. Z gets to tell us the whole thing because we don't want people to confuse and think that you and I are medical professionals because we're not. So we just get, you and I, all we get is a yes, no, do it, don't do it, eat it, don't eat it. That's all we get. All right. What do you think, Mr. Randolph? Is vaping safe? Give me a short answer.
No.
No. I agree. I don't think it's safe. Stay away from that vaping. Don't you vape. Dr. Z, give us the real skinny.
I'm with you. You know what? In it itself, it's a drug thrown out there, probably is amenable to nothing. But they missed our point where we've done so much. It is the mental aspect of needing a substance to move you. And that is the key. It's my problem with legalizing marijuana. It's my problem with medicalizing marijuana. We have to look that we cannot continue to place in front of us substances that take away from the best of us. And that's what we just said. You want to vape, you call Mike Randolph. You want to vape, you call Leon. You want to vape, you want to call Dr. Z. Because we're going to tell you what you can do in a substitute to that is walk out here and do what we talked about in this show. And I ain't got to reiterate. We done laid a vaping blessing on everybody today. It's about substituting your life. It ain't a major medical issue. Yeah, we got some stimulants in there. We got that. But you are substituting, again, that sociological dysfunction that takes you away from being the best of you. That's how I answer that question. No, we don't need no vaping. It ain't gonna kill you. It ain't gonna be a lot. We don't need to get into specific drugs, and we don't get into. But we need to look at what the power it does, and the power it does is it takes you away from you, and so does marijuana. So does everything else. Whether it was a lemonade you drank too much, is if it holds you from being you, you got too much problems. You are addicted to the wrong thing.
Love that line. If it holds you from being you,
that's right, baby.
Gotta change.
Gotta change.
Gotta change. Gotta change. And I can't. We're gonna go back to Michelle for a second. I can't get away from this quote.
That's right.
It's not about the money. It's about the impact. I don't even know why we had to bring that one up again. But y'all look.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Man, it's
I love it. That's the line of the day.
The line of the day. Here we go. Michelle's second question. Is there here we go. Is there a physical reason why women play softball with an underhand throw? Are they physically able to throw a fastball like men? Mr. Randolph, what do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to take the I don't know.
You taking the fifth?
You gonna take the fifth on that one?
I'm like Dr. Z answer that question. I'm back. I don't feel like getting knocked down by some female because I said the wrong thing. I'm giving it to Dr. Z.
You know what? You know what? I'm going with you, Mr. Randolph.
Yo,
I'm not. I don't want any emails, texts, phone calls. I don't want to be at the supermarket and some lady comes up to me and says, I'm out. There is no answer. Dr. Z, what do you got for us?
They already know the answer to this. When women started playing basketball, they look awkward. You look at them now, they look almost like men, meaning they play with a formation and movement of stroke that is almost analogous. And so a lot of it is being introduced. So it's nothing physically about the female dynamic that should stop you from throwing an overhand handball rather than an underhand. It's been what we put you into. And that doesn't say that a woman has to do everything like a man, but we can do athletic talents fairly equally when we've been exposed and out there. So she can fire that fastball just like that. But those opportunities have probably never been there because you really don't have many women playing the hardball game. But when you go back to basketball, and you all know it, look at that game 20 years ago and look at that game today. What did UConn look like yesterday? Man, they were firing that pill up like I'm looking at the guy there, the professional NBA player. I mean, them girls are throwing the pill down. Hey, look, somebody will get on my team. I tell you what, when I say pick them back in the schoolyard, back when you used to do back in the old city, you know, Mike, right now, girl will be left out 40 years ago. I guarantee you look at her butt right there and say she might get picked. So women got the talents of men. It's about having the opportunity, but we all still have to put things in perspective. All right? It's just like last week we talked about men playing with women on and on. We won't rehash those transgender points right now, but we can give a chance to everybody so the playing field is right, but always say it ain't got to be that you got to get in everything. A man ain't got to get into everything what a woman does. A woman ain't got to get what a man does. We got to stop this, America. There is a difference. There is a man, there is a woman. We don't have to be equal on everything that we do. But do we have the potential? Yes, and we should get everybody the potential to do. But let's put our minds and do what's right and not be so crazy and foolish when we think everybody got to be ubiquitous.
All right. There you hear.
I did it for you, Michelle. I wasn't afraid of that.
The last question. What is methadone and why is it something used by drug addicts?
Hey, baby.
I'm not even.
Mike, you gonna take care of that?
Well, I the quite candid and transparent. I wasn't heroin addict back in the day, and I got on methadone. But unlike most people, I got on methadone for the purpose of stopping.
There you go.
Not for the purpose of getting a free high.
Oh, let's say that. Say that one more time, Mike. Say it again. You got for the purpose of doing what?
For the purpose of stopping.
Say it, Mike.
Not for the purpose of going on. And my strategy was to start, I think they started doing like a 5% dose, somewhere like that. I went at a 3, 2, and 1. And guess what? My cancer told me, well, Mr. Randolph, don't worry about it. You're going to be on methadone for the rest of your life.
There you go.
And I was saying, I don't think so. I got a purpose. And my purpose is to use this as a mechanism to get off. In a lot of cases, unfortunately, those doctors, those practitioners that's getting money, they tell you that you never will be able to get off. And I'm telling you, as a true example, you can and you will if you come in with a plan to stop.
Leon, I can't say better than that. That's why I knew he was going to answer. Michelle, methadone ain't but another drug, baby. And if you don't put the mind right, you just stay there just like they told Mike. You're going to be here forever.
Yeah.
But if you use it, and that's why I said, say it again, he used it to get off of heroin. If used as a right tool, any of these self-movement of drug use, these addiction clinics can work, but you cannot leave that the individual has to improve his being, not his drug use. That's the problem. Many of them substitute your new drug for your life drug. No, your life drug got to be there to improve, as Mike said, to the betterment of being a person. If you ain't ready to be another person, you ain't gonna never get off that methadone. You ain't gonna never get off. You have to change you. I like what I said earlier. Stop substituting stuff in for the sake of being who you are. Marijuana, same thing. You may not call it methadone, but if you use it like it, you stuck on the drug. And you will never find the you that you search for. Mike shows you. We've given you an example. You get yourself in the right mind and look at your consciousness, your love, your compassion. Same thing Leon's doing in the racquetball. Same thing we all bring to it all. We bring you the passion to be you. And the only addiction you need is getting there.
All right.
All right. Now, right on. Michael Randolph, thank you for being with us today and for just giving us so much information and telling us about what you are doing, your knowledge, your skills that you have, the education that you have that can help so many others. Folks, there's the email address, Center for Nonprofit and Community @gmail.com. You need this information. We have an expert right here that can help you get things moving to improve your community.
Especially if you're a Black female. Black females are funded the less when it comes to nonprofit. Yet, it's the Black female that does the most. So we change that equation when it comes to Black organizations, but especially Black female organization, and showing them how to get the money and building the structure. That's over 25,000 corporations and foundations that give money every year. And the average person only know about 0.1%. We connect them to that money. And chance of making the change, because no matter what you do about the money to do it, you can't. You have all these nonprofits, almost 33%. that are functioning on no money whatsoever but through donations.
Beautiful.
And they're dying. At one point, they're going to die. But if they had the infrastructure necessary, they could tell that story, because that's what it's about. Telling your story. You could get the money.
Telling a story. Right on.
Baby. I love it, Mike.
Thank you so much for being here.